What's up, guys? This is Brave, and I am back to review one of our favorite shows, y'all, and that is going to be Love and Marriage Huntsville. Yes, they are back. I feel like they just left, but let's jump right into this review, y'all. This is season 6. Wow, who would have thought we would have been here? So, the gang is back for another season. One person who is missing is Destiny. Thank God I was not a fan of her because at the end of the day, she was too involved in what Melody and Martell had going on versus giving us the insight of what she really had going on in her life. But let's go ahead and move on from that. We have new intros, y'all. We have new intros. We are including people that I did not think would be included. Y'all, Kiki's in the intro now. Stormy and Courtney are in the intro now. And I'm just like, okay, this actually does look like a good cast. Like, it does look like a good lineup. Who was my favorite look? I'm going to give it to Mel. Mel was probably my favorite woman. And Martell was probably my favorite guy. I can't even lie. Those two, they do know how to dress, okay? Well, Martell know how to dress sometimes. Sometimes they get real costumey. But nonetheless, let's get right into it. I'm not about to go over that little trailer that they gave us at the beginning of the episode. They could have kept that. We gonna start off with Mel going to see Kimmy. So Mel is super excited that she's going to see Kimmy, and Kimmy's asking her questions about her birthday trip, but Mel is not being gullible. She sees what it is, and she's like, I'm not about to let these cameras in my business. So she keeps everything very light. She doesn't mention who she went with because we already know that she was probably booed up for her with her boyfriend on her birthday trip, and she's not spilling the beans. She's trying to keep her private life, or at least her dating life, very private. So we see that Kimmy wants to have just a little celebration. You know what I mean? She wants to throw a little party, to celebrate her finishing chemo. I think that it's beautiful that she wants to celebrate because, a lot of times when people are dealing with cancer and they are going through the process and the emotions of having chemo, that you have like all these different treatments, they're tired. They don't want to, celebrate every milestone. They just want to, finish everything and then celebrate. I love the fact that Kimmy is like, this right here was part 1 of 3, and I want to celebrate it. So my issue is Maurice though, because Maurice is like, no, I don't think we should celebrate it. Why? This is a milestone for Kimmy. It's not about you. I'm sorry, but Maurice has rubbed me the wrong way for a while now, and I'm just like, what is the problem with Kimmy wanting to celebrate a milestone in her life? Because this is affecting her, not you. Especially to the extent of us learning later on how they didn't find anything, like they did not find any sign of the cancer being there when she was done with chemo. Sir, yes, let this woman celebrate. I don't know, like something about that just rubbed me the wrong way. So Maurice is like, he's going to go ahead and leave the room. And Mel is like, listen, if you want to throw a party, I will have it all set up for you. Whatever you want, I got you. And Kimmy was a little concerned because she's like, you don't get along with everybody. So how is it going to go if you don't get along with certain people? I want them at the party. And Mel assures her, like, this is about you. This is not about me and who I have beef with. I don't have to really talk to them people like that. And I appreciated Mel for that because it does take a bigger person to be like, you know what, I'm going to put my feelings aside for whoever I don't care for, and I'm going to go ahead and invite them to your birthday. I mean, not birthday, but to your party, because at the end of the day, this is all about celebrating Kimmy and what she has been going through. So they decide to play like they were on a phone call. And on this phone call, you have Kimmy being the person who is receiving the information from Mel, and she was giving all the attitude that I was just like, yep, somebody's going to definitely give her that energy, and it's probably going to be Tisha. And Tisha, she low key gave her that energy later in the episode. But I will say Mel did very good on the practice phone call, and I did like seeing her and Kimmy be in such a good place and so comfortable with each other that they were able to film that scene, because we all saw the reunion and it seemed like there was some issue when it comes to is Mel a friend to Kimmy, because Maurice had to butt in the conversation and say that she wasn't. Y'all remember that? But let's go ahead and move on, y'all, because now we have Martell. He is getting a facial because, according to him, he's starting to see bags under his eyes and all of this stuff. And I'm just like, well, sir, you need to go get you some 7th Avenue. Ain't that what Mel's skincare line is called? Yeah, Mel, send him some of that in a care package. Or, just pack it with the kids when you drop them off with a little note that says this might help the bags under your eyes. How about that? So, nonetheless, he's getting his facial or whatever, and his mom pops up. So, as his mom is there, he then gets a phone call. And who is it? Oh, it's Sheree, y'all. Sheree is calling her man, or should I say her friend? Because according to Martell in the confessionals, they are just friends at this point. Nope, he's not her man. They're just friends. So we see that Sheree is calling him from Portugal, which we already know. Real Housewives of Atlanta, they went on their cash trip to Portugal. And I'm just like, oh, okay, cool. Crossover. And one thing I noticed was how Sonya was all up in the camera. I said, Sonya, this ain't your man. This ain't your show. Back up, girl. Back up a little bit, Sonya. So, we did see that, Martell showed his mom the phone as well, and her and Sheree spoke. I wouldn't be surprised if they've, said hello over FaceTime a few times, because they seem like they were pretty comfortable talking to each other. So he gets off the phone. Cool. So, again, we have his mom talking about, what's been going on since the family trip to Destin. And I'm like, girl, you saw the reunion. Cut it out. It's been some mess. But nonetheless, it seems like everything is okay. Everything is all right. It's still clear that he wants to be with Mel, but he's going to pretend like he doesn't. According to him, though, Mel said that she would pray on them being better co-parents. I don't know about all that. I don't know if that was the agreement that she agreed to pray on, or if you are making all this up. Because according to Mel, she said that you wanted her to pray on y'all possibly getting back together. So what was the prayer request? Who was on the prayer request line? Also, Martell, you can't pray for yourself? No? Okay, sir. So we learned that Martell is in counseling, you guys. And his mom is kind of against it, which I think is absolutely on brand for her, because listen, Martell definitely needs to talk to someone about his ways, because Martell, we have seen who he is. We have seen his true colors. He can be very mean, he can be very nasty. But then also I've realized that he gets that from his mother, because his mother did something that was very mean and nasty in this scene, and I'm going to get there. The fact that she does not support him going to counseling, it makes sense for sure, because she feels like her son can do no wrong. She feels like everything is on Melody, and that ain't the truth at all. Now, one thing that I will say is that it's interesting, though, that Martell is like, he's in counseling so that he can be a better person. Now, sir, we've tried counseling with you before. Remember Dr. Francis? And I feel like Dr. Francis did not work out for Martell, because Dr. Francis soon figured out who Martell really was. Because y'all remember when Martell first went to go see Dr. Francis, he made it seem like Mel was being mean, Mel was being vindictive, Mel was doing this, that, and another. She wasn't sleeping with him. She was doing all of these things, if y'all recall. And then once Dr. Francis started talking more to Martell, he started to realize, wait a second, the things that you were originally telling me, that was just to make it seem like the problem ain't you. You're really the problem. And once Dr. Francis starts to call him out on it, that's when he stopped liking Dr. Francis. Because y'all remember seeing the show, when he first started talking to that man, I was pissed off at Dr. Francis because he was believing those shenanigans that Martell was coming up with. So now that he says that he's in counseling, I'm like, I wonder, have you just found another therapist or counselor who is justifying your shenanigans because what you're telling them ain't the full truth? Because let's be honest, there's a lot of people who go to therapy, counseling, all this stuff, and they find people that believes the lies and the foolishness that they have set up, so that way it doesn't look like it's always their fault, because everyone's at fault besides them. Let's be honest. I know that we have met a few people that say they've been to therapy. You just be like, who's your therapist? Because clearly it ain't working. But hopefully this does work out for Martell, because he needs it. Let's be honest. I think that Martell definitely has many reasons to be in a counseling session, and I feel like a few of them need to include Marlene in the session. But let's go ahead and move on, because Miss Marlene decided to go ahead and throw Melody under the bus, because out of nowhere, I don't know how we got here, if the scene was choppy or what, because she was like, the kid's mom, they need to stop talking about their dad as if he's a monster. And basically that she was bitter. I said, whoa, whoa, whoa. What do you mean that Mel needs to stop acting like Martell is not a monster? Have you seen the way he treats her? Have you seen the way he disrespects her? Sir, first of all, where is all this coming from? Y'all just went on a whole family vacation and she paid for, or whatever, and everything was good. Martell even told you in this same scene that, they all right with the kids. You know what I'm saying? The kids are okay. And also, I thought it was crazy that she said that the kids may need counseling, but not Martell. Did y'all catch that? I just had to throw that in there. Yes, the kids need counseling because they just went through saying that their parents have now divorced. Absolutely. But at the same time, girl, your son is the reason why that any of this happened. Cut that out. So, nonetheless, like I said, every time the cameras are rolling, this mother of his, she takes a dig at Mel. Even though she was sitting in Mel's face and saying, girl, you always gonna be my stepdaughter. Goodbye, Marlene. Let me go ahead and move on, because now we gotta get to Stormy and Courtney. Their son, Chess, is so cute. Or I think his name might be Chess Piece. Is it Chess Piece? Yeah, that's a real interesting name, but we gonna roll with it. So, Courtney is ready for the breastfeeding to stop. Now, according to Courtney, he's like, this baby eats steaks, so we could go ahead and let this breastfeeding idea go. And I will say this, I don't have children. However, I do find it very interesting that there are kids who are breastfed with a mouthful of teeth. I'm always just like, but why? Because you're eating regular food, you're eating regular meals, and you're also getting breast milk. Is that not double the nutrition or something? Also, I've noticed that a lot of kids who are like breastfed for longer, them kids be real big. Like they be like real thick. You know what I'm saying? But you know what? I'm gonna leave that where it's at. Because again, I ain't got kids. So this ain't really my business. But for the moms out there, why do y'all be breastfeeding when they be like 3 years old? I'm just curious. Nonetheless, so Stormy talks about how she wants to nurse all their kids. He said, what do you mean all? Because we only got one. She's like, yeah, because I want to have more kids. He's like, oh, nah, we good with just Chess. That's it. All we need is CP. We good. And Courtney, he says that, when it comes to Stormy, she almost lost her life the last time she was pregnant. And we can clearly see that scared the hell out of Courtney. And he does not want to lose, or at least a chance of him possibly losing Stormy. Stormy is taken aback because she thought that they were going to have more kids. And she's like, well, we could even go the surrogate route. He don't even want the surrogate involved. This man, he is trying to avoid this conversation. I feel like he did not probably want to have it on camera. And I think that this is a very hard conversation for a lot of couples to have when it comes to having kids, because I know the people love to say, this is a conversation that you should have before you get married. Here's the thing. People change. People change every day. Your idea of what your life looks like and what you want it to look like changes. Because please know, what you thought that your life would look like at the age of 18 and when you spoke of yourself in the future, yeah, very different for a lot of people. And I think that when it comes to having children, where to raise children, all these things, like, your opinion changes and what works for your lifestyle changes as well. Because think about it. These people are in their 30s at this point. They probably got together when they were in their 20s. I think maybe they were in college together as well. But yeah, when they were probably dating, yeah, they probably planned like, oh yeah, babe, we're gonna have like 4 kids. It's gonna be so great, whatever. They had a traumatic experience happen when they had their first child. And also, again, we have no idea, and I'm not trying to speak on Stormy at all, but we don't know if she may have had miscarriages in the past. We don't know, how long they had been trying before. We don't know any of that other information. So, from what we know, she had a very hard labor to where she lost a lot of blood. She almost lost her life. So I feel like he does not want to go through that trauma again. He doesn't want to risk that trauma. And also, I feel like now that they have Chess, he may feel like he can only extend himself to one child because they have the business going. They're doing this, they're doing that. It seems like they have their hands in multiple pots because I know that, her business is thriving, but I'm pretty sure Courtney has something else that he does. We don't really know what Courtney does for a business or if he just works with her, but nonetheless, it seems like they have their hands in pots and maybe another baby is something that he is not willing to add on. Now, what's really unfortunate in this situation is the fact that Stormy now feels like, okay, if you don't want to give me another baby, but I want to have more children, where does that leave me? Because now my feelings are hurt. Like, yeah, your feelings have been, I mean, you've expressed how you feel, but my feelings are hurt because this is something that I still want. I'm still yearning to have another child. Now, hopefully, within this situation, they're able to figure this out. You know what I'm saying? I would not want them to break up because one wants one thing, the other one wants something else. But yeah, hopefully, they're able to work it out. If they do decide to have another child, that's beautiful. Also, if they are content with just having their one son, that's amazing as well. Now let's go ahead and move on because we see Mel, she's with the kids. I love to see them together. They're talking about how they want iPhone 14s for Christmas, very specific. And the kids end up going upstairs so that way Mel can make these phone calls to invite everybody to Kimmy's party. Y'all, why she got a trap phone? Like when she said a trap phone, I thought she meant like, a second iPhone. Maybe an Android, something. Baby had a flip phone. A flip phone. I said, girl, you can't send pictures on that. Like, what is this? I was so confused as to her having this trap phone. I fell out laughing. So she ends up calling Tiffany first. That goes well. Next was Letitia. Letitia was low key giving the same energy that Kimmy had practiced with her. So, Mel was prepared. I was really wondering if Tisha felt some type of way that Mel was involved and asked to, set up this whole party for Kimmy and not her. Considering her and Kimmy are supposed to be like sister-in-laws, you know what I'm saying? So then we get to Stormy. Stormy was confused as to why Mel was calling from another number. And honestly, I don't really blame her because at the end of the day, if we're supposed to be friends, right? And I get a phone call and somebody's like, this is Mel. I would have been like, girl, we are on a reality TV show. How do I know that this is really you? This could be somebody prank calling me. What's going on? So Mel is like, no, this is just my temporary number. She gives her the information for the party or whatever. Their conversation was very dry. Now here we go with Martell, y'all. Because everybody else, she told the wives, so, they can just pass the information to their husbands. We get to Martell, he answered the phone, and he hears Mel's voice. He got to straighten up in his seat and start, clearing his throat. I said, sir, she can't see you, cut it out. She is not thinking about you in this way. So, next thing she tells him the information about the party. Cool. However, please know he jumped right to, so you want to talk about last night? What about last night? What are you talking about, sir? He tried to set it up as if him and Mel had something going on the last night. And she's like, oh, you still talking about that little prayer thing? No. I have more people to call. Sir, she did not pray about this. She's not praying for you. She's not wasting God's time making prayers for you. when she could be praying for her children and praying for her future and for all the things that she has going on and what she wants in life. You see how that work? We're not wasting prayers with God like this. Sorry, Martell. But let's go ahead and move on. So we see Stormy and her mom, and baby, we got rid of Wanda, and here comes Stormy Mama. Now, one thing that I have learned about Stormy is that she is going to name drop Canvas Beauty every chance that she gets. Because within this one episode, I feel like I heard her say Canvas Beauty at least 3 times. So, anyway, she talks to her mom about Courtney saying that he doesn't want more kids. Now, I will say I was surprised that the mom was like, maybe that's a trauma for him. And, men, they don't really like to express their feelings. So, Stormy's feeling some type of way because he's shutting her down and basically telling her this ain't an option for us to have more kids. So they talk about surrogacy, and it's clear that the mom is not here for it. But I'm like, girl, it ain't your decision. At the end of the day, when it comes to surrogacy, it's literally the baby belongs to these parents. It takes that mom's egg, that dad's sperm, and they just insert those things into someone else to carry the child, for the most part. Now, there are some ways that, people have to donate eggs and all that other stuff, but I'm pretty sure that the way they're trying to do it is that the baby would belong to them. But, of course, her mom is real old school, so she doesn't like the new wave of things. Nonetheless, they talk about her mom in social media. Y'all, we learned that her mom is Wanda 2.0. She all on social media, posting on Facebook, posting on Twitter, posting all these places. Sit your old self down. Like, it was really eye-opening to me when Stormy said, my mom used to read books all the time, and then all she do is scroll on her phone. I said, yeah, that's a problem. Girl, go pick the books back up because you sound real bitter. So, like I said, her mom is all on social media starting mess with Mel. Now, Stormy says that, Mom, you are starting this with Mel, and now I have to answer to the things that you post on social media. And her mom is like, well, you ain't got to answer to nothing because those are my opinions. That's to you, but in the grand scheme of things, and when we think of the bigger picture, when people post things on social media and it comes from your mother, it makes it look like you the one who's been talking crap with your mama, and now you letting your mama do your dirty work. You're letting your mother post how she feels about these people, but that's really your feelings. That's exactly how Wanda is. So don't think that you're exempt from that. Now, one thing that I will say is that another thing was telling to me was Stormy said that her mom has never liked any of her friends. And, you know, when she was a younger as well as now. I said, oh, that's interesting. Because I will say this. A lot of times, I will give some of our moms some credit. Some of our moms will see a friend that we may have and be like, I don't know about that friend. That friend that you got right there, something's off about them. You might want to watch them. But it's not every friend that you got. To me, it sounds like her mother needs her own friends. Her mother needs her own life. Oh, but I want to bring up something else that her mom said that I said, that's real interesting. So Story was talking about how, Mom, with the things that you say on social media, that puts me in a place where I don't want to be. Your daughter is literally expressing to you how you're making her be put into uncomfortable situations, her having to answer to her friends, and all this stuff because you want to be loud on social media. And her response was that, well, because I don't apologize for nothing. Because if I said it, I said it. What do you mean you don't apologize for anything? So you mean to tell me that whatever you say goes and you're never wrong? That's a problem. That's enough for me. I'm telling y'all, I've seen enough of Stormy's mama, and I can already tell she is going to be another handful just like Wanda. So all we did was just trade it in. We traded Wanda in for this. I mean, y'all, we got to the point where her mom literally asked her while we're filming, y'all, so are you friends with Mel? And yes, Mel has not been consistent with Stormy. But I think that Mel shuts down after every reunion. This is not new information. So it's messy to me that your mother is out here trying to ask and see what your thoughts are on Mel because she wants you to say something negative about this girl as well. That's crazy to me. Um, at this point, I will say this about Stormy. She acknowledges that, her mother is saying things out of pocket and tells her, you're putting me in situations, all this stuff, versus someone like Tisha who just turns a blind eye. So that I can appreciate from Stormy, but I feel like, I don't know, her mom is going to get her into some stuff. I really feel that way. But let's go ahead and move on. So, y'all, we get to Kimmy's party, and Maurice is there. I can't lie. It seemed like Maurice was trying to rain on Kimmy's parade. He was trying to rain on her happiness, and I wasn't here for it. One thing that I loved was the fact that like Martell brought Kimmy flowers. Tiffany, I think she brought her like a gift. Courtney and Stormy brought her flowers. But guess who came empty-handed? Tisha. Tisha and Marceau did not have anything in their hands for Kimmy, and I gave them a major side eye. So, Stormy, she's like, I feel kind of out of place here because everybody's acting like we all cool, but at the reunion, it wasn't like that. I said, girl, welcome to reality TV. Again, these people have been filming this now for 6 seasons. You just came in a little bit on season 5, you're starting season 6. That's how reality TV shows go. We stir up all this mess, we yell, we do all this stuff at the reunion, and then when it comes back time to film, we have to pretend like we're friends. So Martell is over here bothering Mel again about this prayer. Sir, go on somewhere. I will say that he did look a little bit tired. I said, Martell, get you some 7th Avenue, baby. Get you some of this skincare. So, Kimmy, she talks about, why this is a celebration for her finishing chemo and how the PET scan, it didn't show any signs of cancer. Now, as she's speaking, y'all, Maurice is all in the background doing all this yelling and all of it. Sir, it's not about you. Sit down somewhere. Let her talk. This is not about you. This is her moment. So Kimmy says that, there's still 2 stages to go. But baby, Kimmy is protected. Kimmy is God's child. Kimmy is going to make it through. We love to see Kimmy, okay? And Kimmy is going to make it all the way through with a full recovery. You hear me? So let's move on to Stormy. She pulls Mel to the side because Mel's like, oh yeah, let's go get something to eat or whatever. And she's like, let me just talk to you for a little bit. And she just wants to know if there's any type of issue between her and Melody because Melody has changed her phone number. Now, Mel, I like you, but you have to take some type of accountability. The fact that you decided to go ahead and change your phone number, that's one thing, but a friendship works 2 ways. So it's not so much just, oh, well, Stormy, I haven't talked to anybody on the cast. We get it. You shut down when it comes to being done with this whole reunion situation. But if she's still your friend, you should have reached out to her and be like, hey, girl, I did change my number. Here's my number. Like, come on, it's not hard. Like for you to say you could have DM'd me. Why would she DM you when you're supposed to be her good friend? And she's like, we always are like texting a lot. So you mean to tell me y'all were big time texters and you change your number and you don't give her the number? That's crazy to me. But then I have to remember Stormy started hanging out a lot more with the rest of the cast, especially like Destiny and stuff. So I don't know if Mel felt like, you getting close with them. I don't know if I can trust you or what, because Destiny has also done that to where she came on as Mel's friend and then she started getting buddy buddy with everybody else to where she would start, believing how they felt about Melody versus what she knew of Melody. So I don't know if this is also Melody trying to be cautious of who she keeps in her space just because she also got burned by Destiny in a way. I don't know. But y'all, that was pretty much the episode. Let me know what y'all thought about it. Were y'all ready for Love and Marriage Huntsville to come back? Do y'all think this season will be promising? Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and I will talk to y'all the next one. Bye, guys.